Let's take a look at what we got. Ooh, look at that. What's up guys? Today we're going to be making a homemade chorizo burrito with a homemade tortilla. Everything's going to be linked down below in the description, so you don't have to worry about all that. Done for you. Pan nice and hot. And I'm going to add a little bit of chopped up bacon to it. And you don't have to worry about getting the pan too hot before, because it's going to crisp up, it's going to render down really nice and slowly, and the fat will just perfectly melt. Now we can see that it's nice and crispy, so we're gonna drain the fat, putting it in a little Tupperware just to put aside. And you don't have to worry about washing the pan or anything, because the onions are gonna soak up all of the burnt stuff. And it's called deglazing. A little factor that helps speed up the caramelization process is some salt, because salt always retains water, so it will cook a little bit faster. I'm also gonna add in a little bit of cumin. Along with that, we want a little squeeze of lime. Barely using any, just to flavor it up a little bit. We'll wait till it gets nice and caramelized. I'm gonna start with a little bit of black pepper. We're gonna add our bacon right back in. And as you can see, there's little burnt bits all around here. So we're gonna deglaze it. And to deglaze it, I'm using one of my favorite sauces in the whole wide world, Salsa Verde. Salsa Verde is delicious because it has that beautiful tomatillo flavor, and you get like some nice spiciness to it at a subtle heat. So I'm being pretty generous with that. I'm mixing it all together to deglaze it down. And we'll take it right off the heat and just let it do its business. Once that's all settled down, I'm gonna take a little bite of it to see how the flavor's settling in. That is something you want in your burrito every single time. That's good. And that's really all it takes to make some guacamole that's fresher than you can get at most restaurants. Okay, so now onto the tortilla dough. We're gonna start with 2 cups of flour. And to that I'm gonna add just a nice small teaspoon of salt and like 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, like a very small teaspoon like that. A little more. And with a fork, we'll just mix our dry ingredients together like so. And it's a good idea to just form a little well in the center where we could add our liquids, which is simply just a cup of warm water to our 2 cups of flour. We'll go with 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We'll just mix that all together with a fork. If you have a whisk, that would be more ideal, but I'm just using a fork right now until it's all forms into a nice little ball. And once it's just pretty much workable like that, you can actually just start pounding it in the bowl, kneading it a little bit. Taking a layer of wet napkins and putting it right over the tortillas to keep them nice and soft and pliable. All we have to do now is cook our beans, which is in a hot pan. And then we just have to cook our chorizo. Add it. And just like the bacon, you can sort of start from a cold pan. We'll just let it slowly render down into a nice, crispy, lovely chorizo. For the beans, you can do whatever you want with it. You can add your rice to it, but what I'm gonna do personally is I'm gonna add that little topping we made earlier with the salsa verde mixture, and I'll just simply add that to my beans to get a really elegant, lovely flavor. And it's all going in the same place anyway, so what does it matter? I got the chorizo cooked, so I'm adding a little bit of chicken stock and a little bit of cumin just to flavor it up. And if you want to get a little more sweet chorizo, you can do some honey, you can do some brown sugar, whatever you'd like, but really this is what I want to keep it at. And so this will really absorb all those burned bits and the flavor of the chorizo into your burrito. Because look at all that sauce, you don't want to waste that. Pretty much done. We're going to let this simmer down a little bit more. And we pretty much have all of our toppings ready. So we're about to assemble that taco. Let's go. We got our cilantro in our rice, and I'm going to add a little bit of lime just to zest it up. I think one of the biggest aspects in a really tasty, flavorful dish is some acidity. When something's not overwhelming, that's usually because it doesn't have enough acidity or sweetness or heat. You know, you need a combination of all those flavors together. All right, so there's no particular order that we need to do, but I'm just gonna start by laying out our rice. The rice is smelling really nice and zesty. You really want to pack on these flavors. Make sure it's really nice and loaded. And unlike Chipotle or those places where they give you a limited amount, you got as much guac as you want to work with, so don't be afraid to go heavy on the guac. Last up, the chorizo, my favorite part. I've also got some shredded cheese. You can do some cotija or whatever you'd like, but I've just got a shredded Kobe Jack mix. Finally, the salsa verde. I'll do a little bit more because, you know, I like to go salsa verde crazy. And that's pretty much your burrito. All right, so now my favorite part, it's time to wrap this baby up. I've seen them do it at Chipotle where they sort of just fold it over like this, and they just simply sort of hold it together. I'm not really a pro at doing this, but just have it nicely mushed together and just sort of press it like so. Boom, you got a burrito. All right, now it's time to cut this baby open. Let's take a look at what we got. Boom. All right, I can't go any longer without eating this. Let's go. Let me just get one more bite. Guys, let this video speak for itself. Go ahead, try it out. Comment down below what you think. And I'd love to hear what you would like me to make in the future. Thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and like this video to show me that you love me.